Hello everybody. I wanted to thank you for stopping in today. I'm Karina Chen with karinascreations.com and I'm going to share with you how to make a really cute card today. So I'm just going to turn this down for a second. This is going to be, this is the Geared Up Garage card made with the Geared Up Garage product suite, and I'm going to show you how to do an antiquing technique. But before I do, I just wanted to share some other things. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for stopping by, and I'm fairly new at this. I've only done a few videos, so it helps me out so much if you can like and share my video. I really do appreciate it. And everybody who likes and shares my video, I want to give you, well, I want to give everybody something special, but hopefully one person will really appreciate it. I'm going to do a draw for a special prize. Oh, I see Celine's here. Hello, Celine. Thank you for watching me. And let me see. So I've got a little basket full of names for everybody who liked and shared my video. Now, the good thing about this is that I don't have a lot of people following and liking me, so your odds of winning are pretty good. When I see Betty's here too. Hello, Betty. Thanks for popping in. Okay, so I have my little goodie basket, and the winner is going to win some Happiness Blooms, Memories, and More card pack. Now, if you are a card maker or not a card maker, and you do not like cutting and scoring card bases, you want to order this if you don't win it today. It's not that expensive, and you get little cards and envelopes ready to go. So let's see who the winner is from last week. I love giving away prizes. Okay. Oh, the winner's going to be Kim Lewis. So Kim, congratulations. I'll have to send you a message. Kim usually stops in at one point in time, so I will just set that aside for her. And I wanted to share another thing just quickly. Stampin' Up! Has come out with a new product called Stampin' Storage. So can you guys see this? Now I'm going to turn it, so hopefully it won't go all crazy on me. This is a new storage system by Stampin' Up! So basically you can customize it to what you want, and it fits our new ink pads beautifully, and then it has a spot for the markers. So these are the in colors from last year. They are the 2018-2020 in colors. And of course I always have to buy my re-inkers whenever I buy my ink pads, because I don't like it when I run out and my ink pads aren't juicy. And then this also has enough spot for the coordinating ribbon colors, so I really like that. And then you can actually pull this off and add another layer onto this if you have 10 ink pads. And there's also an open storage compartment. Unfortunately, the open storage compartment's already back ordered till July. So if you're thinking about any of these type of stamping storage products, you may want to consider getting them quick. We also have a compartment for stamping blends as well. I'm going to be buying more. This was sort of my test one to see if I liked it. And I do. Oh, and I see Tara's here. Oh, and Lyren's here too. Hello, Tara and Lyren. Thanks for watching. Okay, let me just set this aside. I do have another tip to share with you today. I just shared this with my team. I think I'm allowed to share it on Facebook Live, hopefully. Stampin' Up's going to be making a few changes with their with our stamping trimmer. If you have a stamping trimmer, my tip is to go and get some replacement blades now, because it is going to be discontinued in the upcoming catalog. And then they're changing the Big Shot a little bit too. So if you're looking for things to buy, well, actually they're going to be making a new Big Shot. So I would buy plastic cutting plates for the Big Shot, Stampin' Trimmer blades, replacement blades, and I put more information on my Facebook pages, but that's just kind of a heads up for my team because I know some of them are watching right now. Okay, that is that. What else did I want to mention today? I have come out with a class using the Wonderful Moments stamp set, and I'm going to be giving this away to anybody who places a $50 order today. And you can buy anything you like, including the stamping storage. The link to my shopping channel is www.karinascreations.com. This is the April Hostess code. If you're spending under $200, then you would enter the Hostess code. If you want a direct link, my shopping channel is karinachin.stampinup.net. And again, you can just go through it through my blog and just hit shop now. The other way you can get this card kit, it actually makes 2 cards, 2 of each design. Look at this one's kind of cute. You can just order, you can send me an email and say you want to get it. It's $45. It includes a Wonderful Moment stamp set because it is retiring. This product, set of cards that I'm using actually is using the retiring in colors. So this is my other tip of the day. If you own any of these in colors from last year, which is Berry Burst, Lemon Lime Twist, Fresh Fig, Powder Pink, and there's one more color, Tranquil Tide, then you want to get them before April 15th hits. When April 15th hits, Stampin' Up! Comes out with their new catalog and the retiring list hits. And I will guarantee you, Friday morning, on April 15th, the morning of, these colors will either probably be back ordered, and I don't know if you'll even be able to get them. So that's my tip. If you like them, get them now. And if you have your own demo number, just order them yourself. You don't need to order through me. Just order them through your demo number and save 20%. Okay, so that is that. What else was I going to share? Oh, I'm going to On Stage this weekend in Vancouver, which is a perk you get when you have a demonstrator number. I know Betty's coming with me, and my friend Karen and my other friend Tara will be coming with me to On Stage. And then when we come back, I'm having an On Stage after party for my team. So I'm going to be sharing everything with them. And don't worry, if you're part of my team, you live out of town, I will send you the little kit so that you can make your cards at home, just so you don't miss out. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to share. So I'm going to zip back to how to make this card. I'm going to actually share a few projects on my blog this week. I'll just sneak this one in quick. How cool is this one? This is I think they call it a floating frame technique, but isn't that pretty? Okay, back to this one. I could just go and talk forever, but I'm going to stay focused. So, the Geared Up Garage product suite. I love it because everything coordinates, and that makes me happy. And then I don't have a problem designing cards. So this is a stamp set. Lots of different images, and I love these little kind of black background image as well. These are the thinlit dies. So you can see you get a lot of little pieces, and I'm going to share a tip with you on how to use that today. It has coordinating paper, which I am not really using today in my card, but paper pack's super cute. And then it also comes with, look how cute these are, little metal elements. I was actually thinking on that card I just showed you. You have a key and a wrench. That's pretty cute. And then my favorite is, I love this ribbon. Look at the metallic ribbon. Isn't that pretty? But anyway, so this product suite's really fun. It's $66.50 Canadian if you get the bundle, buy the 2 together. We're actually making this as my technique card tomorrow at class. So Terry, you're going to actually see, you're getting a sneak peek of what we're making tomorrow. Whenever I do my card classes, I always share one technique and we make a technique card. This is a top note die. It is retired. You can't get it anymore, but my girls who are in my stamping club still like me to use the top note die, so I'm doing it just for them. So I always put the instructions on the back, and then we have kind of a mini sample of how to do this. Let's start with a card. Step 1, I am using thick vanilla cardstock. And the reason I've switched to thick vanilla cardstock for the base is that your cards just stand up nicely. They don't wobble around. The regular vanilla is almost too thin for a card base. So I have already cut this at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just reading my comments. Liren says, hello from snowy Ottawa. Is it snowy? Oh, I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, and it's actually, I believe, 16 outside today. I'm shocked. We never get good weather, so this is such a treat. Yeah, I am done with the snow. I like the snow in winter, but when March hits, I want the flowers to come out. I probably need to move to Vancouver, but I'm staying in Edmonton. Okay, this is the next piece you're gonna need. So this one is very vanilla. This is just the regular very vanilla cardstock. It is 4 1/4. Nope, it is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm gonna be putting it in the Hexagon Embossing Folder. Now this is one of our thick folders, and it gives you a deeper impression. And this is what you're supposed to do. I don't do it half the time. You just give it a little spritz with just water. I have a little spray bottle filled with water. And it just gives a deeper impression. And I'm just going to put that in here. And then close it up. Now I've got my thin die adapter. I don't need this one for my Big Shot machine. How I know is it's got a picture on my Big Shot machine. If you don't have a Big Shot machine, you better buy it pretty fast before this is getting discontinued. Stampin' Up's going to come out with their own version. So if you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. I know every product that Stampin' Up comes out with, I absolutely love. I'm not too concerned. But if you've been on the fence with getting one, I would get one and do it through a demo number, because then you're going to get free shipping and GST. Okay, so you can see I've only used one plastic cutting plate with this thick folder. The other trick with the Big Shot is if you're rolling it through the machine and it gets stuck and it's not going through, stop, because your layers aren't right and you don't want to break your machine. I think this machine is 9 years old maybe? I can't remember when we first got the Big Shot. But I still love it and use it all the time. And I also love all the coordinating dies. It just gives you freedom to do so much. The other thing I should mention, if you have this machine, was a new kind of a thin die adapter and cutting platform they came out with. Buy this before this gets retired as well. It makes a huge difference for cutting your intricate detailed dies. Okay, look at that. Can you guys see? Can you see the texture on that one piece of paper? Now it's a little bit wet. I should probably heat it with my heat tool. Maybe I'll just set it aside. But what I'm going to show you is this one I did not wet before I ran it through. It does make a difference. I shouldn't be so lazy, and I should just spritz all the time. Okay, I'll just set this aside for a second. So there's my base. Put that over here. And then the next step is I have cut a piece of Crumb Cake cardstock. This is 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I've already taken some of my stamps and put them on my block. And you can see these stamps don't fall off. They're called, well, they're rubber stamps, but cling foam, I believe, stamps. And they are super sticky. They even stick to the top of your lid. And I like it because they don't fall off my blocks anymore, which is fantastic. Okay, the other tip is this is how you open the new ink pads. If you press at the top, it pops it open. And then you slide it and lock it into place. And I'm just going to randomly stamp a background on my Crumb Cake cardstock. As close as I can get. Boy, this is this must be a brand new ink pad. It's pretty juicy, which is great, which just tells me I should re-ink my ink pads more often. Okay, I'll set that aside. And then to fill in the spaces, I don't really have to, but I actually took my Mossy Meadow color. You can see I've been coloring with this one. And I don't want this too dark, so let's just stamp off. Okay, this is very dry. I need to re-ink this. Whoops, now I got a splotch. I'll be re-inking this ink pad right away. Okay, and I'll set that aside. Okay, I've got that piece done. Then this is going to get attached to a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. And this should be 4.5 by 3 1/4. And I'll put all the measurements on this posting on the Facebook Live post. This is such a fun technique. You can do this with so many different stamp sets. I just thought it looked great for a guy card. Okay, there's that. And then I'll quickly tie some linen thread around it. I love linen thread. It's easy to tie. It's not that expensive. You get 15 yards in the package, and it goes a long way, and it goes with everything. All kinds of cards. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do just a quick little bow. There we go. What do you think? It's coming together. And that's basically it. And then I'm just going to set it aside, and I'll show you the technique part of the card. There we go. Little snip with my paper snips. I hate setting things down because whenever I'm doing the videos, I tend to lose these pieces. Is that dry yet? It's coming. Okay, we'll put that up here so I can see it. Okay, now the fun part of the card. So I need to take, and I just have to reach over. I went and cut a bunch of these. Now I know why. I need these for my class tomorrow. Okay, I have a tip with using the Big Shot with these dies. When you first get intricate dies, they cut pretty good. And then the more you cut, sometimes they quit working as well. The dies do get a little dull after a while. So what I like to do is use some wax paper in between my die. So I'll make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, so, Giselle says, we'll be spritzing too. Yes, spritzing does make a huge difference. Okay, so this is Crumb Cake cardstock. Now I had a little piece of wax paper on here. I'm just gonna cut it just so it's not flapping all over the place, making a big mess. And you'll see how nicely it cuts out. Let's put that there. Okay, I'm putting my gear on here. And then I also wanted the baby gear because I needed that for my technique card. And I'm just gonna have these ready so the girls tomorrow don't have to do this. I'll already have these little guys cut for them. So I might as well cut another one at the same time. There we go. And then I'll put my second plastic cutting plate on. And then feed it through the Big Shot. Send it through. If you're not sure if it will cut properly, you can always back it up. So send it through once and then back it up and send it through a second time. It's not necessary. It depends what your dies are like. I find every Big Shot machine's a little different. Every die cuts a little different. I'm just gonna set this aside. And now I'm gonna pull out my Big Shot die cutting brush. So I have stored mine in a plastic container. This is our full mount plastic containers that Stampin' Up! Sells. And your die brush actually comes with this little scrubby pad. And then here's your brush. So I went and stored it in here and then bought myself a paper piercing tool. And then I just stored it in this little bag that I made. Actually, I didn't make it. I got it somewhere. I think from one of the Stampin' Up! Events. Stampin' Up! Treats us very well when we have a demo number and go to events. Okay, can you see how that's just falling out? Just because I used that layer of wax paper. It's pretty good. And I'll just give this a little scrub. And then I'll grab my poker. And it just pops. I just find it almost falls out, and there's not much stuck inside these little gear pieces. And then if I just take my scrubby brush and scrub it, it's pretty quick. Look at that. It's clean, ready to go. So that's pretty easy. Oh, here's a little piece in the center. I'll just poke that. My die may not be clean. If you find your dies aren't cutting anymore, make sure that you don't have any paper pierces stuck in the actual die, because that does make a big difference. The hardest part for me is not to lose these little pieces. If they end up in the garbage, I would be very sad. Okay, so now I will set this aside, and I'm just going to put this away so I don't either stab myself or lose it. Plus I need it for tomorrow's class. Okay, now this is the antiquing part of the card. And it creates a pretty fun pattern. If I did it on some Whisper White cardstock, maybe I could reuse the die. That would be a card for another day. Okay, what I've done is taken a stamping sponge and cut off a little kind of pie-shaped piece. And this one is going to be Mossy Meadow. And my Mossy Meadow ink pad is here. And I'm just going to dip it in. I try to dip it in the corner. And I'm just going to rub. Oh, there is lots of ink on here. Or maybe it's from before. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and then this other one. There's two ways that you could do this. Stampin' Up! Sells VersaMark ink pads. Oh, back it up a second. I forgot to do my little gear. Want to get that at the same time. And also, look what happens when you pull it away. You get a really fun design that you could probably do another card with. Okay, back to the VersaMark. So Stampin' Up! Sells a VersaMark ink, which is a watermark stamp pad. You can actually stamp with it on dark colored stamp set or dark colored paper, and it leaves the image of the stamp on your dark colored paper. This is an old pad that I like to do for techniques. This is a foam metal technique. We had a flower, oops. And that was a few years ago, and I'm still using this pad. Now what I could do is just tap down here, and then with my sponge, tap it on my gear. But what I'm gonna do instead is put a little bit of VersaMark Ink Refill. I highly recommend that you buy VersaMark Ink Refills from Stampin' Up! If you go to Michael's and try find these, you're not going to be able to. They don't have them most of the time. That's one thing I do like about Stampin' Up! They carry some things that are very hard to find in other stores. So what I've done is added some sticky ink to my gears. And I'll set this aside, set this one aside, and I'm going to pull out my heat tool and my copper embossing powder. So let me just get this out. Copper embossing powder's here, and I have put it in a rubber or Ziploc container. I don't know where I got these. I love these. And then I just mark what color it is. Well, I guess I've got enough. And then all I do is stick it in here and give it a little shake. And of course you don't have to do this, but I just found it was quick. I had to make some swap cards, so I made a lot of these. And this was so fast. And you can see where the powder is on my gear. And then I took some tin foil. I went to the dollar store and bought a really cheap clipboard. Put some tin foil on it. And then I'll clip my piece in here because I don't want to burn my fingers. I've been a demonstrator for, I think, is it 12 years now? I'm starting to lose track of time. That's how much I love it. And you know what? I have to say, I'm still not bored. I still find card techniques. I still have fun stamping with my friends. I love it when people come stamp with me. Love doing things with my team. Okay, there we go. Oh, I see Diane's here too. Hello, Diane. I hope it's nice and warm where you are. Okay, what I'm doing is you want to pull it aside, get it hot before you go on to the copper, because the copper will blow away. And I'm just going to put it in on one side until it starts bubbling and melting. There we go. And that is it. Is that not the easiest technique? And if you're a beginner, the embossing, getting an embossing gun will just change your world. I'm telling you, it's one of the best purchases I did. That and the Big Shot. Okay, so that looks pretty nice right now. Now I can go on and assemble my card. Now remember how I said I didn't want to set it down because I would lose it? This is exactly what happens. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we are going to use, I can either use for this layer, because I use the Hexagon Dynamic Embossing Folder, it's pretty bumpy. So you want something a little stronger than snail to attach it to your card base. So you can either use tear and tape adhesive, or you can use liquid glue. I am a huge liquid glue fan. It usually works for most of my gluing needs. I'm just going to put that down on here. And I've got powder everywhere now, but that's okay. Normally I go to one area so it's easy to clean my powder after. Okay, there we go. And then the next step is to put this panel on that we just completed. And I'm just going to grab 4 Stampin' Dimensionals. You get 300 Stampin' Dimensionals in a package. They're very inexpensive when you break it down like that. Now, if you have beautiful nails, you can see my nails, I keep mine pretty short. You can always use scissors or use our Take Your Pick tool, would be fantastic for removing backings off of Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, this one I'm going to slide in here, and again I'm going to put that on with the liquid glue just because you want to get around these little bitty bits. And I love this stamp set. It's got a Father's Day card or Father's Day sentiment in it. I just think you can use it for a lot of things. And the toolbox and the car's really cute. We'll slide that under like that. Okay, that's basically the card. Now this is where you get to choose what sentiment you want to use. I think I'm just going to use the sentiment that came with my set. I tend to change it up a lot depending on what my needs are. But I can use your classic Happy Father's Day, You Jumpstart My Heart, All Geared Up to Celebrate. I think I'll do All Geared Up to Celebrate. And you'll notice normally when I emboss, I use my embossing buddy. I don't know where my buddy is. There's a lot of embossing in my class tomorrow. Just a heads up, Tara. Hope you're ready to emboss tomorrow. But my girls have been with me a long time, and I'm sure they'll enjoy the cards. Okay, let's see. Which way did I do this? It's better if you use your embossing buddy because then the powder doesn't stick to your cardstock. I find, like I said, the copper is a bit of a thicker embossing the granules are a little bit thicker, so I didn't really have a problem when I did this earlier. And again, we'll just put it in here. Now I am gonna heat this from the back, and I'm not using my homemade clipboard. I'm just gonna try to not burn my finger. Let's see, and I'm doing it from the back because I don't want the powder blowing away on this one. It may not. Okay, is it melted? What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and you can see I do have a few granules left that stuck, so I should have taken the time to use my embossing buddy and that wouldn't have happened. So maybe I'll give this to my dad. He likes any card I make and he won't really pay attention if there's little bitty bits. And I'll be ready for his birthday card. Okay, and now I want to make a nice pennant shape. If you do not like using scissors to make your pennant shape, you need to buy this. This is a tailored tag punch. All you do is line it up, or put your punch in, or put your paper in the punch, and then you sort of eyeball it so it makes a nice, so that you have a triangle. And then when you punch it, you get a really nice pennant shape. And even when it's not 100% straight, it still looks amazing. Okay, now I'm going to use 2 Stampin' Dimensionals again. If you don't want to use your fingers, you can use scissors, or like I said, I love my take your pick tool. I just have no idea where it is right now. It will appear. I've been creating a lot lately because I'm trying to do swaps for on stage. I'm trying to do little pillow gifts for my on-stage after party for my team next week. My craft room's a bit of a stamping disaster right now. Okay, that is it for my card. What do you think of that? Isn't that nice? Yes, Tara, I love heat embossing too. I really do. And I'll just show you quickly. These are some other cards that you can do with this set. So I'm going to have to do a video on this one. I think we need a wrench or that little embellishment I showed you from before for this card. It's a technique. This one is one we did at my 16 card class. This one is from Anita Towns. It's super cute. It's a swap that I got from her. This one is from my friend Donna. Oh, she used the little wrench, but you can actually emboss with these pieces as well if you have the embossing mat for the Big Shot. This is one we did at our Creative Day Escape. If you are a demonstrator or a customer who loves events, we have an event coming up, I believe in June 15th maybe. Don't stick with that date. It's a Saturday, and we always have product demonstrations, form make and takes, and it's really fun. So that gives you some other cards that you can do. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. And like I said before, if you like or share my post, your name will go into the draw next week. I really, really appreciate it. And if you would like to order any products and you live in Canada, you can get to my shopping page by going to my website here at karinascreations.com. And then that is my April host code. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.